Hello, me again, Sean Colfer, here to bring you another game from pitch 3 here, this time in the Open Division. Momentarily, when the teams are finished with their preparation, we'll be seeing Jetset Open, just off the back of their women's team winning their first game. They'll be looking to get a win against Wall City in the 5-8 bracket here. Jetset have been pretty close in a lot of these games. Lost 15-13 to Gentle, 15-13 to Clapham, 13-11 to Mooncatchers, all 2-point losses. Their biggest loss so far of this tournament was against, can you guess? It was against Wall City. They lost 15-11 in the pool. So these two teams have pretty good knowledge of each other from this tournament already. The winner of this will play for 5th place against the winner of La Forza, surprisingly beaten by Gentle, and Alba, the team from Scotland, who lost to Clapham in their quarterfinal. Jetset made top 8 of the EUCF last year in an excellent performance. Wall City did likewise. Jetset at the moment 13th in the EUCS rankings, doing pretty well. It's a kind of spot I think they might expect to be in, but they are going to be looking to improve on their position if possible. One would guess that some of their close losses might help them out here, but a win against Wall City would help them out even more. Wall in black, starting to our left as we look here, and Jetset in white. Not immediately clear who's starting with the disc, although it looks as though Jetset are the ones getting ready to pull. They're the ones moving around and selecting matchups. Yeah, there's I see a disc in the hand there. So Jetset to pull to get us underway. And as with all the other games, I'll try to bring you what is happening around the fields as we go. So the pull looks like it landed in and rolled out the back, so it comes to the front of the end zone. Looks like Ferdia Rogers handling this one off the bat. It's not, it's Philip Kay on the O-line, which is a change from earlier. They played Gentle, he was on the D-line. Heinrichs to Greenwald. That's Rogers. Nice break. This near side to Kay. Kay into the end zone. Can't tell if that's someone actually feeling the hamstring or if that is a joke. Always difficult to tell when someone holds up after scoring. But he is still holding his hamstring there. That's not a great sign. Domke. A nice cut into the end zone. Found by Kay. It'll be a bad development for Wall if they lost somebody this early in the game to an injury like a hamstring. For those of you who were listening to some of the earlier games, you might have heard about an injury in the quarterfinal between Reading and Deep Space. Deep Space took half 8-5. There was an injury then in the start of the second half, which basically put paid to any play for the rest of that half. Those two teams will complete their game today. So we will have a result there. It's not defaulting deep space through. So those two teams will be meeting later. Best wishes to the injured player. Didn't sound great. So fingers crossed for them. As we see Jetset out on offense for the first time in this game. It's a nice D from Wall, really limiting their options. Good handler mark. Looks like there's a call of some kind. Unclear exactly what. Is it a pick? I don't really know why this wouldn't stay where it is if it's a pick. Didn't affect anyone down there. But there's wild gesticulating to say it should go back. Again, unclear to me why. So Jetset in their own end zone. Finding it a struggle to make any forward progress. There's a lot of contact there on that cut. It's before the throw, so it's definitely coming back. The Jetset player is jinking around, trying to change direction several times to find space, which does make it kind of difficult to limit the contact there. But right at the end, as he tries to go forward, you can see he just gets clipped across the heels by the Wall City player. Disc stays where it was, which I think is a good outcome. Jetset still in their own end zone. Last time there was a tournament in Leuven, Jetset won the spring invite, which qualified them automatically for EUCF. There was a lot of consternation about that, because they had players they were not going to have at the showpiece event at the end of the year. And then they went and finished top 8, so all the consternation was kind of misguided, really. Wall City here with a vice grip on D. Jetset are really struggling to get any movement whatsoever here. Just going backwards into their own back corner. Another call. Teams need to clean this up, I think. Looks like there's just been picks downfield. Everyone's getting too tight. I mean, there is nobody past the defending brick mark. We are really condensed into a small space here. They'll be playing that game that I'm sure everyone's played, where you just play in the end zone, try as many touches as you can. Try to play in small spaces, practice playing in small spaces. They'll be doing that soon. And now they finally have an inch of daylight and rip it downfield. Jetset running down the break side. Just about managed to hang on to that one. It was a great defensive point from Wall City. Kept Jetset back there for a long time. But once they got that breakout, ran down there. And that's Echoarts to Ravia for the goal to make it 1-1. So Wall City were coming into this tournament with the aim of trying to win it. They've had good pedigree of doing well at these competitions in the recent past, but a relatively surprising loss, I think, to Chevron. It's 15-13 against another very good team. So it's not the worst result in the world for them. But you can see, if you look at the scores, you can really see where things went a little wrong for Wall City. They went 4-1 up and then gave up a 8-2 run from there. Chevron really putting their foot on the gas and pulling away from the Belgians. So Jetset pull. It's another roll out the back. And I think that is Ricketts again bringing it to the front. No, that's Rogers. That's Ricketts. Finding K. Greenwald goes deep. K doesn't throw that backhand. But it's a good shot. Across the field to Eichler. Now with Schleur. Schleur moves it. Back to Schleur. Rogers with the disc on the doorstep. And then popped into the end zone. Good hold for Wall City. Conrad Schleur free on the front of the end zone. 2-1 to the Germans. We are yet to see a turnover in this game. The way Elite Open has been developing over the last few years, you do tend to see far fewer turnovers than perhaps you used to. The final of Tom's was something like 9 turnovers between those two teams combined for the whole game. Execution becoming more and more and more precise. Teams able to be more creative, take more expansive throws and complete them with greater consistency. Wall City looking to put on more pressure, try and pin Jetset right back in their own end zone again. As the pull comes up. Another big one. This time, Jetset just outside their end zone. A little bit of a softer handle mark there, trying to stop any downfield progression. Jetset reset back into the middle. They're finding it a little easier to make ground this time around. Although now they're going back into their own end zone. Oh, and it's a... Oh, gets a hand in there, but there's a call. Looks like a foul is the call. Wall City player is astonished. Can't believe it. Standing still. Aghast. Some discussion happening. Can't quite see who's involved in this call. Looks like we're asking the sideline. And it is a turnover. Retracted foul call. Good chat, good spirit. And here we go. Wall City looking to get this first break of the game. That's our first turn. Always good to see that turns are blocks, though, rather than just mistakes. It's good defending from Wall City there. Again, pinning Jetset deep and making them work really hard. And that's a goal. I'm sure that foot was dragged by Riddler. Got people on this sideline saying goal. From much further away. What are they saying on the far sideline to the camera? Saying goal. They're saying goal. So that is a break for Wall City. Demke to Ridlow. Wall City, 2 defensive points, 2 huge pulls, hitting Jetset in their own end zone, and just waiting until they got an opportunity to get their hand on the disc. And a 1-pass break. The Germans starting the game out very, very impressively. So that was Demke, who was on the first offensive point, and then on that D point. Jetset, meanwhile, getting ready to receive the pull again. Trying to focus on putting this one in. Not letting the game get away from them early on. They haven't been wiped out in any game so far. A 4-point loss to Wall City, as I said at the start, is their biggest defeat. They do have a smaller squad than Wall City, although Wall carrying a couple of injuries. So the pull comes up from Wall. Not quite as deep. Looks to be trailing out. It is trailing out. So the pull is bricked. All sagging off on those handle marks, trying again, prevent those forward progression throws. Lovely, quick offense from Jetset there. Just outside the end zone now. Good handler D. Pushes them back slightly, but a great inside shot. Opens up the field, and then that continuation for the score is pretty straightforward for Vian. Ravier again catches the goal for Jetset. He has 2. He has both of their goals so far. But it was all about that inside throw that really opened the field up and made the break much easier. So Clapham leading Gentle in their game. Clapham with a break. Go 3-2 up. And Mooncatchers and Chevron have got a break each. So they are now at 4-4 with Mooncatchers having started on offense. No score update in the Alba versus Lafota game. Looks like Alba Lafota is starting a little later than everyone else. Potentially due to that Iceni East Block game. Overrunning slightly, and Rogers tries a huck, but the other handler mark just steps in front and knocks it away. In strict terms, could you call that maybe a double team? Perhaps, but there's no way you're getting that back after the throw goes. And that disc is going to have to be checked because Ferdy Rogers threw that pretty hard. And it got knocked away very early. Huge development potentially here, though, for Jetset. I said you don't want that game running away from you early. And this could be an opportunity to get that break back pretty much right away. So Jetset with the disc. And front corner just beats the mark to the front corner. That is tough defensively. When you're in a position where your O-line turns it over, you've got to try and get it back. Getting beat to the front corner is a very, very difficult thing to give up. So Jetset, as I said, definitely not letting the game get away from them early. They are now back on serve. Taking that break back off Wall City. Where German's going to have to go again. Chevron with another break. Over Mooncatchers. They're 5-4 up now, and Clapham extending their lead against Gentle to 4-2. Clapham playing with a pretty small squad today. I think they only have 11, maybe 12, because of a wedding. This happened to them last year. They got to the final with a small squad, and that final went very poorly for them against Mooncatchers. So, let's see what happens this year. And let's see what happens in this game. Schlur with this now, on this near side. Great cut by Eichler. Looked like he jumped a little early, but still reels it in. Schlur gets open on the reset. Centers the disc. K breaks the mark with Rogers. Back to K. That disc is gone. Looks like a good shot to me. Yeah, run down nice and easily. Heinrichs has been making athletic plays all weekend. When you got a receiver like that on the end of it, always looked to me as though he was going to get there. Really good throw. Put it out on the plate for him by Greenwald. Heinrichs reels it in for the 4-3 lead for Wall City. Those of you who were watching Wall versus Gentle earlier when they scored 4 breaks, they do the... When their D-line gets a break, they do the boom thing. Everyone goes boom. That's the boom thing. And they'd score 4 breaks in a row. So it was boom, 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 boom. And that is why they started singing the Venga Boys. That is the start of a Venga Boy song. Thank you for those of you who pointed that out to me. I absolutely love it. I wish more teams did it. Someone let Clapham know. Clapham have taken that boom thing. But the Venga Boys edition, I think, is a good one for any team. So all the Wall's pulls from this end had been incredibly good. Right into the end zone of Jetset, pinning them deep. And we get that again here. A step outside the end zone, but under throw comes off to push them forward a little. Jetset looking a little more comfortable now. Although they're still making pretty short gains. There's a call again. Is there a pick or something? Unclear. We're coming back in. Oh, is there an injury call? That's a replacement. So we're back in. Jetset with the disc. Little mini break of the mark. Then a nice IO flick huck. Oh, and someone hits the deck there. I would assume there's going to be a call. Very cally game so far. Been quite a lot of contact, quite a lot of picks. Moving quite slowly. As they discuss that, I can predict the conversation, I reckon. The Wall City player saying that contact is incidental. The Jetset player saying, yes, but you definitely kicked my feet. And the Wall City player saying, yeah, you're probably right, I actually did feel my feet kick yours. Doesn't have to be intentional for it to be a foul. Wall accepted the foul. And so, here we go. That's the odd way to start the play, pick it up off the ground. You got fouled, it should be on your hands. And there we go, we're back in. Nice fake, opens up some space. Jetset looking for an option here. Everything very clogged here, a lot of people moving, and the hammer is the only option left. And oh, what a catch that is. The defender doing the old jump in front and wave your arms and see if that makes a difference. Let me tell you, viewer, it did not. Ekelarts comes down with it anyway. And Vian with his second assist of the game. Jelle Ekelarts with an excellent catch in the end zone off what I can only assume is a late stall hammer. So 4-4 here. Pretty even game so far. Mooncatchers have broken back against Chevron. That game has gone from 2-1, 2 points in a row for Chev, then 2 in a row for Moon, then 2 in a row for Chev, then 2 in a row for Moon. Teams can't decide who's on top there. A lot of breaks. Clapham continuing to lead Gentle 4-2. And Alba and Lafossa in the early stages of the game are at 1-1 with a break for Lafossa. Another good pull. Jetset have been doing that every time. Big bladey pull into the end zone. Moon catches. A Wall let roll out the back. So the disc now with Ferdia Rogers. Expansive throw downfield. That's got too much on it from Ricketts. Saw Gaffney think about whether to go up for it. It was Kay think about whether to go up for it, but in the end, he didn't bother because it was very high. And is that in? That's not in, but it's a great catch and great footwork. And this Jetset D-line could be about to take another break here. That disc goes around. Nice footwork, nice throw. And another mistake by Wall City. And Jetset are up here. Started out 3-1 to Wall City, been 4-1 to Jetset since then. Leuven to Smesset. And Jetset are leading. It's their first lead of the game. We saw this for the women's team from Leuven, Jetset Love in the last game. They went down early on to box, but they fought back, took their first lead later in the game, and then never gave it up to take their first win of the tournament. Could be about to be see first Leuven wins back-to-back. The last game between these two teams, an 11-5 win for Wall. Jetset never led there either. So this is the first lead for Jetset against Wall at this tournament in 1 and a bit games. And that one lands out. Ferdy Rogers will go and pick it up and take it to the brick mark. We see Greenwald, Gaffney, Ridlow, Rogers, Schlur, Eichler. And Kay out for Wall City. Very, very strong line. Kay with this now. Breaks the mark to Rogers, who's looking downfield. Goes to Ridlow. Ridlow doesn't continue it. Instead goes to the front of the end zone where Schlur is waiting. And when Wall City play like that, when they move the disc like that, I just like they can beat anybody. But the consistency not quite there at the moment. So 5-5. But Jetset are a breakup. They'll be receiving the pull to start the second half, sorry. So still in a good position. It's 5-3 to Clapham, and it's 6-6 with Chevron and Mooncatchers. That game is on serve. Whereas Clapham are a breakup. Lafota exerting themselves early against Alba. They have 2 breaks. They're 3-1 up. Another great pull from Wall City. Jetset in the familiar position of being in their end zone, but they have been working it well out of there in the last few points. It's an FM from Wall City. They're trying to force everything through the middle, but Jetset doing a good job of using those inside lanes. Oh, that was not going to work, though. Not enough on that one. And that is miscommunication between 2 players on Wall. Disc goes up. That looks like a great shot, and it is a great shot. Good goal for Jetset. That looked like, was it Kuhn? Kuhn and Diekman, perhaps? Just complete miscommunication. Faking. His teammate moved, and then he just threw it behind him. The consistency thing I was talking about, not quite there. But Heimans to Arno van der Roost. Put Jetset back on top. So Wall now needed to come out and put this one away again. Wall have had quite a tough tournament injury-wise already. They're carrying a few knocks, bruises, a couple of people not playing. I'm sure we'll see a slightly different version of Wall later in the season. They've added some very interesting pickups, relying on some development, some very talented young players. As their offense gets going, Eichler. And that goes deep, and there's wide open Phil Kay. That is about as easy as an offensive point as you're going to get. Schlur to Kay. Seemed like that one lasted about 30 seconds. And it's 6-6. Galaxy point between Chevron and Mooncatchers. Finally, we don't get whole break. They're trading now, which means Mooncatchers are coming out on offense there. Lafossa with another break. Over Alba. They have 4-1 up there. And Clapham 5-4 on Gentle. Seems like a pretty encouraging first tournament for Chevron. Second tournament, actually, they were at Tom's. Okay, they did pretty well at Tom's. They came 5th or 6th, I don't fully remember. Jetset now, moving this quickly. Again, some sagging off from Wall's handler marks, trying to limit space. That deep shot's not going anywhere useful. Turnover, it looked as though there was some slight indecision, miscommunication. Hyman's maybe did have space, but had already decided to come under when the shot had gone up. And now Wall City with a chance to try and pull the break back and get it back on serve. But last time we saw their D-line, I know it did not go well. Looked quite messy. Well, last time we saw it was a one-pass turnover, but before that, it looked quite messy. A lot of moving around for Wall City here. They're in a split stack formation. 3 on the side with the disc, 2 on the side without. Comes to the handler in the middle. Lena Manchestons is going all the way across the field trying to get open there. Clearing space, and there's a big undercut. Turned down there. And Lena Manchestons can't reel that in. Nate Garvey had a lot of space there, but it was turned down. And that's an easy goal for Jetset. Yeah, Wall City's D-line offense just not clicking at all at the moment. They're getting people open, but they are not moving that disc efficiently at all. So 7-6 to Jetset. Bobby Clements and Cohen Villat getting in on the act. So their first stats of the game. Mooncatchers take off on Chevron, so that game is on serve going into half. Wall City await this pull. They need to score 2 points to get this back on serve and take half. Jetset will be looking to try and solidify their advantage. They are receiving the pull out of the half-time break. So if they can get a break and score here, they'd have a chance to go 3 up out of half, which would be a very good position for them to be in, obviously. Schlur to Rogers. Rogers looked like he's slightly short-armed it to Eichler, but it gets there. Ricketts. And Greenwald, Eichler. Eichler fakes that backhand. Markets the deck. Eichler turns down a reset. Goes to Rogers instead. Rogers doesn't want to go up the line either. Rogers receives that goal. Good work by the Wall City O-line. They do hold there. Greenwald to Rogers. So we're at Galaxy Point. But remember, Jetsets are a breakup here. 7-7. Jetset it on offense. And they are getting offense again out of half. So they have 2 offensive points in a row. We haven't had any timeouts yet in this game, so it makes sense that the teams would take a quick break to prepare for this Galaxy Point. I'd do the same thing. So I'll take a quick break now while the teams decide how they're going to attack this one, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, it looks like the teams are in position to start this 7-7 point. Jetset, who came out on D to start the game, got broken got broken once, went down 3-1, but have since come back with 2 breaks of their own, and they are now receiving this pull. They have 2 points in a row on offense. If they can score them both, they'll go up 9-7. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It is 7-7. They still have to score them. Wall have been pulling very well so far in this game. That was a little flatter and faster, so Jets are going to be able to get a few yards off the first pass there. Ridlow, K. Ooh, that's close to a poach block there. And that one, it's just come off the hands of a receiver. And Wall actually do have a chance to take this one away. It's a nice catch under pressure. Ridlow. Oh, Linemenstons can't hand on to it. And that is disappointing for Wall City. Had that disc right in the end zone. Well, 10 meters out of the end zone and just another fumble. There's a pick called, but I mean, K's not close enough to call that. So Jetset with their second chance to score the point to take half. Working it down the open sideline. But Wall have been doing a good job as they're pinned. Really exerting pressure, but that inside break does a good job of getting them some yards, and now it's right on the end zone line. And a little blade to find space, and then a blade to the front corner of the end zone. That's a goal. That's half. Jetset consolidating their advantage. They'll come out on half. They'll come out of half on offense. I'll take another quick break while the teams do. Back with you shortly, and let's see if Jetset can continue with this advantage over Wall City. 8-7 to Jetset at half. Back soon. Hello again. The teams did not take too much of a break there, so we are back up and running pretty quickly. Jetset back out on offense, and Wall throwing a zone at them. Jetset moving it around, finding space in the front. And a turnover there, trying to throw through contact, it looks like. Just trying to push it onto that far side of the field a little too quickly. And now Wall City with a chance to bring us closer to serve. This will be 8-8 trading down, so it would still be Jetset a break up. Oh, and that is just a miscue. Throwing to a handler that was too closely guarded. We've had a few of those from Wall City who... Oh! I was going to say looking tired, making tired decisions, but that is not the act of a tired man. That is a great block. You can hear someone on the sideline yelling, "What's going on?" Stefan Kuhn with a block party. So with Basov. Nice break. Linnemanstons to Ridlow, but it looks like there's a pick. I originally thought that was an incredibly cool goal celebration, that Ridlow had indicated a goal, but no, he was indicating a pick. That's sad. That's sad. Back to Linnemanstons. Taps it in. Throws the goal to Ridlow anyway. Do the celebration again. Oh, the camera's moved. 8-8. Wall City at least back on level terms. They are still a breakdown. So Jetset still do have that advantage, but they couldn't make advantage or take advantage of that mini break that halftime provides. Clap and take half 8-5 on Gentle. Chevron and Mooncatchers are 9-9. Very interesting sounding game going on over there. Cam Weir having himself a game. Got 4 stats already. Sweetenham, Criddle, Elliot Edwards, Hannum, Nicholas, Williams with an assist. A lot of the younger players on that team taking on bigger and bigger roles. Led them to a UK national title for the first time last year. They don't even have Ethan Morrill there, who's maybe their most accomplished of those young players. Meanwhile, Alba have pulled themselves back into things a little against La Fota. But Lafotta still up several breaks. It is 6-3 to the Italians. So Jetset awaiting this pull from Wall City. Their lead is now evaporated on the scoreboard anyway. They are still a break up, but it is 8-8. Another great pull from Wall City. This has been a very impressive pulling game from the Germans. That's just another drop. Starting to see some mistakes creep into both teams now, and that's Ferdy Rogers playing on the D-line. Wall City starting to stack lines to try and get back in this one. It's Philip K as well. Jostling about, trying to find space. Ball getting in the way, one of the two. It's a nice inside break, that. Lovely throw. K goes onto the far side. Still living on that break side. Back to K. K looking for an option. K kind of playing center field here, looking for something. Just moving it back and forth. Rogers tries to milk it. Fakes it and draws the layout block attempt. Then fakes it again to K. And throws a lefty inside to K. That comes off. That'll count. And that is another break for Wall City. And now we are back on serve. Jetset's lead completely gone now. 2 breaks in a row for Wall City. And it looks as though Jetset have called a timeout. The teams will gather. I will go and get some more water. And I'll be back with you in a moment. I'm back. We're back. The game is back. Wall City getting ready to pull again. They are now up on Jetset after coming out of the halftime break with a renewed sense of purpose. It is 9-8 to Wall, and they're back to this 3-person zony prevent look. Great handler D again. We're back to the first couple of points where Jetset were pinned in their own end zone for a lot of time. Haven't been able to get it outside the end zone just yet. Still back inside. And that's going, and that could go as a deep shot. That does go. No, it doesn't. The light tricked me. Still just outside the end zone, but now they've got a bit more momentum going. A bit more flow. But Wall doing a nice job here. Pushing them backwards and limiting them. And that's another drop. Another drop for Jetset. A lot of the turnovers that have got Wall City back in front here have just been miscues by the Belgians, and they are calling that not in. Basov thought he was in. Taps the ground. Totally unnecessary. I will point that out every time someone does that. Basov with disc to Linneman Stones. Linneman Stones Faking people out of their shoes. Basov with the disc. Throws an offhand. That one's definitely in. No need to tap that one on the floor. Not that there's any need to ever tap anything on the floor. And it is 10-8 to Wall City. 3 breaks out of half. The Germans look relaxed, look back on top, look back in form. Venderholm finding Kuhn there. And the Jetset timeout did not necessarily help. They were 2 points ahead at one point. Or an opportunity to be 2 points ahead. Would have been the biggest lead of the game. As I said, the lead at 5-4 was the first lead they had on Wall City across either game they played against them. But now Wall 2 points up. For the second time in the game. Elsewhere, Mooncatchers 11-9 up on Chevron now. And they're looking good to go back to the final, although we are in a similar situation where the teams are scoring 2 at a time. So you can bet that very soon it'll be 11-11. Chevron will get a hold and then a break. Clapham 9-7 up on Gentle. Clapham have 2 breaks. Gentle yet to get one back. So it's Clapham out on offense, looking to extend that out to 10-7 at the moment. Another big pull from Wall City, right in the back, and it's a great pull chase as well. That first pass isn't going anywhere. Feels like Jetset have played more in their own end zone in this game than I've seen a team play in a while. Ooh, close on a block there. And now that deep shot's going. It's low and fast. Good read from the offensive player, though. Nice give and go patterns there for the score. Looked like the defensive player might be able to get in on that one, but Wouters read it really well. There's a travel called, which honestly, that seems strange. Some open pass to a player with no defender. Okay, fine. And it goes the same thing again. That was worth the delay, everybody. Smethett catches it from Wouters. So a nice hook, a nice read from Wouters. But Wall City won't mind too much about that hold from Jetset. They put themselves back in a very commanding position here. If they can get another hold here, they'll restore their 2-point advantage. Jetset needs something to get back in this game. They were doing really well, got themselves back into it, then pulled ahead, had a golden opportunity to go 2 points ahead, but couldn't take it with that offensive point out of half. 3 breaks in a row for Wall City, and it is a very different game moments later. So it's a arrowhead type zone from Jetset, but the arrowhead type zone is going to try and stop things through the middle, and that throw goes straight through the middle to Kay. Okay, back to Rogers, who returns it. We're in a back-end match now. Throw over the top to Ricketts. A nice hold from Wall City. Ricketts finds Schlur in the end zone. The arrowhead is probably a nice idea. It's a nice idea. Wall were getting a lot of joy. Those little inside lanes, getting things at the front, just in front of the disc, moving it from those lateral cuts, and then moving it, continuing the same direction that the momentum's going to, out to the sideline, making yards that way. So Jetset thought, let's try and take away the middle of the field, but one shift to the side, and Kay was wide open through the middle. And that, you have to scrap the arrowhead after just 2 passes from there. Maybe worth sticking with a couple of tweaks, trying to make sure that we get that person behind the force a little tighter in, prevent anything going through the middle as it did there. That's a problem for the next point, because this point, Jetset are going to have to go out and get another hold, which they've been struggling to do in the second half. Just that good huck read from Wouters on a low flat one that could have been blocked. It's the only way they've been able to get that hold so far. So another pull comes up. Is it going to be another great one? It is another great one. Another good pull chase as well. That first pass doesn't go again. Wall City doing such a good job there. So Jetset moving the disc a bit more freely this time. You can see Wall still sagging off those lanes. It's a lovely throw. Good handler D upfield. Looks like some gesticulating and trying to tell each other what to do. After that nice flowing offense to start the point. Oh, a bit more there, but the flow stops again. All the way across the field. Comes off, and that hammer also comes off. Much better from Jetset. Last couple of points, they've been pinned in their own end zone and really struggling to find a way out. But that time they moved it nice and quickly, got to halfway, and then from there they took on some expansive options, but they were never looked that dangerous. Across the field flick, the hammer, they were definitely on. And Vian to Ravier. Both of those two involved again. Vian with 3 assists, Ravier with 3 goals. So it's time, I think, to talk about that arrowhead again for Jetset. If they want to go back to it, the ways they need to do it differently, the ways they need to improve it. Adjust some of the positioning, maybe. The Wall City O-line awaiting another pull. Up it goes. That's a good pull from Jetset this time. That looks very deep. And it's not going to drift out as well, I don't think. Oh, it is going to drift out. That is very close. Very unfortunate. Really good pull. A little more air, a little more edge, and that is right at the back of the end zone. And Wall City are in a spot of bother. As it is, Rogers is bringing it to the brick mark. It looks like we are coming back to that arrowhead type zone. But again, people are open downfield. And now we're out of it. Great throw. Great throw. Down the line, spotting the space. Tough throw to fit in. There's really not much space when you're on the sideline and someone's cutting diagonally into the sideline, but Eichler gets it out in front of the receiver with enough time. He threw it early. That's a big key for a throw like that. You can't wait and try and gun it in there, because it just means I've talked about this a couple of times, it means your margin for error just doesn't exist. But Eichler spotted the space, and that K was cutting into it really early and was able to just put it out into there with touch, which meant K could run onto it and catch it pretty comfortably for a 12-10 lead for Wall City. Clapham 11-8 up on Gentle. Mooncatchers 12-10 up on Chevron. Teams have traded the last couple of points. La Fota, meanwhile, 9-5 up on Alba. 10-5 up on Alba. Just scored again. They've scored 3 in a row again now. Luca Tognetti with 2 assists in the last 2 points. So looking very like the winner of this game is going to be playing La Fota for 5th place. As, to be fair, you would have expected. Slightly shorter pull for Wall this time. Good pull chase, but Jets are able to set up outside their own end zone, and they're already just past their brick mark. Wall not selling out so much on these unders, it feels now, because Jets are able to get them with more ease. And as I say that, a throw goes behind the receiver, and Wall City find themselves with the disc again. That deep shot going, that deep shot's not going. Back to the center of the field. And it's out here on this near side to the camera with Mukameshov. That throw does go up. That's not how you would draw it up technically, I don't think. A little dropped shoulder, a little too much roll, but very effective. And Dobka finds Lucas Johnson in the end zone. Another break for Wall City in the second half. It is 6-2 to them in the second half. And they go up 13-10. It'll be very difficult, you would sense, for Jetset to get back into this now. Offensively, they do not look hugely confident at all times. There was a couple of points ago where they threw those couple of expansive throws. That looked nice. But when they're getting flow, they're looking pretty good. They're struggling to get into flow every now and again. We obviously just saw a miscommunication or a missed throw when it went behind the receiver. Wrong angle or maybe just out of the hand wrong. As Mooncatchers break Chevron again. Chevron have come out with another hold, but it's 13-11 to Mooncatchers now. And Clapham and Gentle have been trading since 7-4. So it's still 11-9. Clapham out on offense now. The Jetset, that's a dangerous little pop. The Wall City pull chase, as always, has been absolutely on point and nearly got there for that one. They're playing this saggy handler mark to try and limit throws downfield. But Jetset have broken out there. This is nice from the Belgians. Moving it quickly, decisively. And now they're kind of stuck again. Nice break throw. Good mark by Wall City. He's back in field. Good call. Thought for a moment there was going to be a miscommunication. It was going to be another turnover, but no, good call. That's Blade over the top, might be going. No. The Belgians have been expansive when they've had these kind of opportunities. Hasn't always paid off for them, but it's very fun to watch. Oh, great placement. Oh, I think that's just out. I thought he'd put a little more edge on that one. A little more OI edge, and that drops just into the receiver's hands. But as it was, it just drifted a little too far. Maybe the wind's going that way. And now Ridlow with the disc on his own end zone line as K, wide open, instead bombs it deep. Is that a miscommunication? That is a miscommunication where two people have gone with the deep player. K has then come under. Both players have come with K and then left the deep player in an acre of space. And it looks as though, is that Hartley Greenwald who's called the timeout? We talked about this in a previous game. I don't hate the call, but that Jetset D is scrambling. They're all over the place trying to stop things, limit things, get in the way, fill lanes. I feel as though that broken field was to Wall City's advantage here rather than the Jetset's advantage. Then again, I think Greenwald is one of the captains of that team, so it could be that he's calling a timeout to try and practice. We're going to be in these static situations. We need to make sure we execute from here. But this D-line back out there, looking to extend their lead and push themselves closer to the 5-6 game. Speaking of extending leads, Mooncatchers 14-11 up on Chevron now. So we need 4 points in a row for the team from the UK to take that spot in the final away from the reigning champions, Mooncatchers. Still 11-9 in that slower game between Clapham and Gentle. The La Flotta Alba game is nearly caught up with them, and that started about 10 minutes late. (11-6) incidentally there to La Flotta. So it is Greenwald with the disc. So he's still from Wall City limping off on the left side of the screen there. So Philip K on the sideline, is he taking an injury? I'm sure he was on the field a moment ago. Could just be guys in black hats on Wall City. There's quite a few of them. Greenwald goes across the field, back to Greenwald, and now it's unclear to me why they even called timeout. That's a nice break though. Touches the ground. That's useless. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't do anything. Moving the disc nicely though. Jetset having to work very hard to try and stop it, and can't stop it in the end. Kuhn to Garvey for the score, 14-10. And it's all fallen apart for Jetset in the second half. Credit to Wall City. When your opponent is a bit jaded, a bit down, their heads are down, you have to work hard to maintain your standards and keep pushing. It's not as easy as them just rolling over. Most teams will not just roll over. You need to take it off them. And Wall City have kept their intensity high. I've talked plenty of times about their pulls and their pull chases. They're getting down there, making it hard, putting Jetset in uncomfortable positions. Yes, Jetset are not necessarily dealing with them as they might have done earlier in the tournament or earlier in the day. But you've still got to do it. You've still got to take it away from them. So Wall City doing a very professional job in this second half. 7-2 to them in the second half. Clearly where the game's been won. So Wall now have 5 opportunities to win the game. They could win on a break here, or their O-line then has 4 shots to try and go and do it instead. Motoring through it as well. Only 63 minutes gone. We're at 14-10. Only 3 timeouts. Not many calls at all. Not any long discussions when there have been calls. Jetset with a split stack. Working through the middle. But that momentum stopped again. Nice break throw. Oh, that's a lovely break throw. My. Oh. Wow. What a shot that is. Heymans to Van der Rost. That's all about the break from Heymans. Saw Van der Rost cutting into that space, but getting it there is much easier said than done. Perfect edge on it. Perfect weight on it. Just enough touch that Van der Rost didn't have to break stride, didn't have to speed up. Just wrap his hands around it. And that is 14-11. One of the prettiest scores of the game, that one. So Mooncatchers have won. They are in the final again. 15-11 against Chevron. Chevron doing really well, 9-9. Fighting all the way up to that point, but from there, it was 6-2 to Mooncatchers. They came away with 3 breaks from there. Mooncatchers again showing they are one of the best teams in Europe. They've been at the final of every tournament they've played in the last couple of years. Obviously lost the final at EUCF and at Tom's this year, but they are in those finals. Getting there is half the battle, I suppose. Gentle, meanwhile, have had their first break against Clapham in the game. To pull within 1. Clapham are still a breakup, so it's 12-11 to Clapham, and Clapham are out on offense. Still not close to the cap there either. Lafota 12-6 up on Alba now. That one could be over before an hour if they keep going at that pace. Wall City with the disc. Ricketts. That's knocked away by Jetset. Don't call it a comeback, but could it be a comeback? Jetset's D-line with the disc. There's a deep shot, turns that down. Instead throws a double helixy hammer, and I dare say that better decisions will probably be made by Van der Rost at some point in his life than that one. Especially at this point in the game. Just kind of potentially morale boosting good block. You can put that one away, then people start believing again. But now Wall City have that disc back. And if they score, they win. Moving around the back. Ricketts to Eichler. I was going to say Eichler looked very open there, but it's a pick from somewhere else. It was just Eichler with a nice cut to find space. Eichler with a disc. Looking like a first mate with that, that headwear and hair setup. Ricketts again. Greenwald finds K, and K goes all the way across the field. Foot drops in. That's the score. That ends the game. Conrad Schlur. Nice footwork to finish it off. That game over in quicker than 70 minutes. Both teams racing through it. A good game for Wall City in the end. First half did belong to Jetset. They did a good job getting back into it, but ran out of gas in the second half. Wall City ran away with it. 8-3 second half. That's what good teams do. As I said, very professional performance by Wall City. Took advantage of what Jetset were doing. Took advantage of the mistakes Jetset were making. They move into the 5-6. Jetset into the 7-8. We'll see who they play. Looks like it'll be Wall against La Fota and Jetset against Alba. We'll see what happens when that game finishes. But that is it from Pitch 3 for today. That's it from me for today. I will speak to you tomorrow. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the Elite Invite.